Okay, this is block 6, the Great Depression, section 2, Hoover's response to the section beginning with government intervention. But the Depression was lasting longer than Hoover anticipated, and longer than anybody could have anticipated. And soon, local charities were completely overwhelmed. There was simply too much unemployment, too much despair, too much hunger for local charities and churches to keep up. So in the White House, Hoover, the great engineer, decided that the government would have to intervene. Hoover had no problem, philosophically, with government intervention in the economy. He is a moderate, progressive Republican. Do not fall for Franklin Roosevelt's propaganda that Hoover is this flinty-hearted, laissez-faire, robber baron American politician. It's not true. He's not Coolidge. Coolidge was truly a laissez-faire politician. Hoover was a moderate progressive. Hoover believes that intelligent government intervention can help the economy. And by the middle of 1930, Hoover is starting to use the power of the government to intervene in the American economy. One of Hoover's ideas was what he called producer cooperatives. One of the problems was with lower farm prices, farmers were trying to make more money by producing more farm goods. But all that did was create more supply, which led to lower prices. So a producer cooperative gave farmers permission to pool their resources, pool their produce, pool their crops, to more intelligently manage, there's that progressive idea, intelligent management of the economy. It's generally a failure that American farmers are simply producing too much food. And the producer cooperatives, although a step towards, or a step of government intervention in the economy, it does very little to stop the falling price of food. There's too much working against it. People are not eating as much, food is not being exported to Europe, plus the fact that farmers, individual farmers, are trying to produce more to make more money, but in reality they are only driving down the cost of their crops. The next thing Hoover did, and he based this on the General Welfare Clause of the Constitution, was public works projects. There was lots of projects that could be done in and around the United States. A public works project is a government-funded improvement, whether it's a road, a railway, an airport, a dam. Big projects that individual initiative and enterprise either would not or could not undertake on its own. Hoover begins to have government spend money on public works projects. The biggest of those public works projects was begun in 1931, and you see the finished product here. This is the Hoover Dam. Hoover did not call it the Hoover Dam. He was many things. He was not an egotistical person. He did not name it after himself. His friends did later on. But this enormous dam dammed the Colorado River in the American Southwest on the Nevada-Arizona border. It was begun in 1931. It was a massive project. Thousands upon thousands of unemployed men are sent out to the remote desert. They are put in government, housing. They are, their salaries and everything are paid by the government, and they begin working on this enormous project to dam the mighty Colorado River. Today, the Hoover Dam supplies power to much of Los Angeles, most of southern Nevada, much of Arizona, much of New Mexico. It is one of the great engineering marvels of American history, and it's huge. That you can kind of see, this is a road going along the top of it with the little cars. You can get a sense for just how big the Hoover Dam is, hopefully by taking a good look at this picture. The Hoover Dam was one of many dams and one of many highways and parks and railroads and airports started under us as a public works project by President Hoover to try to kind of kickstart the economy, to get people working, to increase demand. None of it worked. And by 1932, Hoover is taking further steps towards government intervention in the economy.